Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul leading a coalition supporting Minnesota's law that prohibits concealed carry by individuals under the age of 21. And this is just one of many actions Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul has taken to go to court in other jurisdictions with Friends of the Court briefs supporting more gun control in other jurisdictions. Of course, Illinois, we've got the gun and magazine ban, where litigation on that in the Southern District going to a final hearing where they're going to determine final judgments on challenging the state's gun and magazine ban. So you've got that case set for a bench trial September 16th. That's in Illinois. That's in the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals. That's just in this jurisdiction, right? But if you look at the federal court system, there are multiple appellate court districts, and within those are district courts. So Illinois is in the 7th Circuit. And we've got Southern District Court, Central District Court, and Northern District Court. But the Southern District Court handling the consolidated cases challenging Illinois' gun and magazine ban. But last week, Attorney General Kwame Raoul, who is defending the state's gun and magazine ban in federal court, seems to also be wanting to defend laws in other states. And let's go back to this news release that Kwame Raoul's office put out last week. Attorney General Raoul leading a coalition supporting Minnesota's law that prohibits concealed carry by individuals under 21. So Attorney General Kwame Raoul leading that coalition in the 8th Circuit, urging the court to revisit an opinion striking down a Minnesota law prohibiting individuals under the age of 21 from carrying concealed handguns in public. So again, what you have here is the district court in the 8th Circuit striking down a law in Minnesota that says individuals 18 to 21 are adults and they can conceal carry in public. So Minnesota had a law that said only people 21 and over can carry concealed handguns in public. That was struck down. Now, how that impacts Illinois, we're not in the 8th Circuit. We're in the 7th Circuit. So this would only impact Illinois if it goes all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, and the U.S. Supreme Court says law of the land across the entirety of the United States. It's going to be individuals 18 to 21 conceal carry. But as of right now, this only impacts the 8th Circuit. But Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul saying in a brief asking the court to review its recent opinion in favor of the plaintiffs in a lawsuit challenging the Minnesota law generally restricting the issuance of concealed carry permits to people ages 21 and up. Raoul also led a July 2023 coalition defending the same law in the same case. And here's a quote from Raoul. In order to protect our communities, particularly our youth, from gun violence, states should have the ability to enact reasonable measures like age-based restrictions to keep concealed firearms out of the hands of young people. I will continue to work to protect our youth from the scourge of gun violence that has become all too common in too many communities. Raoul and the coalition explained in their brief that the court's opinion, if not corrected, they said, will raise questions about the constitutionality of similar statutes in more than 30 other states with age restrictions on firearm access. The coalition explained those statutes are constitutional because they claim that they are consistent with the country's historical tradition in that states have enacted similar laws for over 150 years. 150 years is just part of the nation's founding. If you look at the urgency of the Supreme Court's pushing for text, history, and tradition, you can't only go back 150 of the country's 240 some odd years, right? Because you can go back and find gun laws that were passed in states that were racist, that were xenophobic, gun laws that kept hands out of certain religious groups specifically. And yeah, those may have been enacted 120, 130, 140, 150 years ago for various reasons. But that doesn't go all the way back to the text, history, and tradition of the Founding Fathers' Second Amendment. All right. So a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What even constitutes a people? Is it anybody over the age of 18 that's an adult? Or is it only those over the age of 21? Again, back to the Attorney General's news release here. He goes on to say Raoul and the Attorney Generals across the country argue that the opinion should be reheard because its reasoning, if adopted elsewhere, could threaten the state's ability to defend and enforce all manner of firearms regulations. The brief is the most recent step the Attorney General's work to address gun violence through Illinois and across the nation, and it goes on to talk about a whole host of other things. The Attorney General's office created a state-of-the-art crime gun tracing database. Raoul's office also collaborates with local law enforcement to combat gun trafficking. Additionally, the Attorney General's office works with law enforcement agencies and prosecutors to increase awareness of Illinois' red flag law and to address gaps in Illinois' firearm licensing system. The office also prosecutes individuals who lie on FOID card applications. And that's another case that we could possibly, delve into. Wrap in Hunter Biden's case into that, and I think the federal courts are also dealing with similar types of questions. In particular, nonviolent cannabis users. Do they have a Second Amendment or not? So just to keep you updated on some other gun litigation as well, last week you had the case challenging the state's firearm industry liability law that the National Shooting Sports Foundation filed against Illinois. Well, they put in a supplemental authority, which is essentially just saying, hey, this is happening elsewhere in court systems and it's relevant to this case. So they submitted that, and what they submitted was the updated Chicago v. Glock lawsuit, and we talked about that. So clearly the National Shooting Sports Foundation is on top of what's happening with the firearm industry liability law and how it's being used by Chicago, and the importance why they say that this law needs to be struck down in federal court. So that's just one other law, other than the gun ban that we've been tracking, that's being challenged in court here in the state of Illinois. But you also have the Meyer v. Kelly case, which challenges the FOID card, and that's in federal court, still standing there. It hasn't had much movement on it. So we'll see just how far along that goes. So clearly, Second Amendment is an issue that's being litigated, not just in Illinois, but really, quite frankly, across the country. Something we'll definitely keep you posted on. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell with America's Talking Network. Again, America's Talking Network. YouTube. Get the Illinois in Focus podcast here on YouTube or anywhere you get your podcasts. Follow me anywhere. Just search Bishop on Air, and we can connect that way, all right? Make it happen. We will see you back tomorrow here with Illinois in Focus Daily. Appreciate you guys being here each and every weekday morning. Have a great Monday, and do what you can to stay cool. We're talking triple-digit heat indexes. I think I got my AC guy coming in today because, well, I don't think my AC's working. I don't know. Amazing I didn't break a wicked sweat this morning. All right, have a great day. America's Talking Network. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm Greg Bishop. This is Illinois in Focus Daily.